And welcome to our first lecture, room labels. If you remember where we last left off, briefly we talked about room labels and very briefly how easy it was that we can just drop in a label into any room within Revit. Automatically it assigns it a room name, it gives it a square foot, volume, so on and so forth. So let's just break it down a little bit more so you guys can capture it into your projects. Obviously I've launched Revit. I'm just going to go into new project. And what I'm going to do is just go ahead and create 4 quick walls. So I'm under my Home tab, Wall Tools, and just create very quickly 4 walls. Hit Escape. Now, the Room Label tool, as we mentioned, is under the Home tab, Room. You'll see the button right here, the Room button. Okay, once again, Home tab, Room. You click on the little drop down, and you have 2 options. You have Room, and you have Room Separation Line. We're going to talk about room separation line momentarily, but let's just go ahead and kick off with room right now. Okay, so you can go ahead and click on room, and as you can see, I'm just hovering over the space and it creates a little X. It's just a guideline for you, and it's just indicating pretty much what the area is that it's scanning across. That's going to define as its room or space. Think of the room like a hatch pattern in CAD. Basically, it scans the perimeter, and wherever has the enclosure is pretty much where it's going to define the room. I click to drop it, and I hit escape. So that pretty much sets the room right now. If I hover over, as you can see, it defines little X around. That's basically, like, think of it like, again, like the hatch pattern, but that's basically what it scans right now and defines as a room area. Now, if you actually want to go into the room itself and define the name of it, double click the label, and then you can call it whatever you want. Living room. And you can give it whatever number you want as well. So 100-1 if you want. Hit enter, and you're good to go. Now, if you want to, for example, define what this square footage is, you can always select the room label. You go Element Properties. You go Edit Type in Element Properties. And as you can see, there's a checkbox that says Show Area. You can click on that, hit OK, hit OK. And right now, this is 9,264 square feet. That's what this space right now is defined by. As you can see, it's defined by that area right now that it highlights. Okay, if I don't want anything, you just click on the room label. You can right-click Element Properties, or you can go to Element Properties here. Edit Type, and you can deselect or uncheck Show Area. And if you don't want to show a number, you can do that as well. Just go ahead and uncheck that, hit OK, and hit OK, and it's just living room. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. To delete the room label, we've got to be careful, because if you just delete the label itself, as you can see, you still have this area here, which is basically the actual room area defined. That means the room is still there. You just deleted the area, the label itself. So what I do is select one of the little X lines. Once again, just highlight it and just hit delete. Now the room has been completely removed. Great job. Now let's kind of funky it up here a little bit. What if we go wall and create a wall here? Now, what Revit's going to end up doing is going to consider all this one room, because this is what's considered a bleed area. If you want to make this a room and this a room independently of this one, you have to use what they call a room separation line. That's where the second option here is. If you click down, you say room separation line. Go ahead and select that. Click and click and hit escape. Okay? Now what that does basically is it defines with an invisible line where the boundary is. It closes off that gap. This is basically, think of it like a container, like a hatch pattern in AutoCAD. It's a container that it keeps this area closed and it keeps this area closed, so Revit can consider this one room and it can consider this one room respectively independent from each other. Now we can click on room. As you can see, click on one room, click on the other room, and they are perfectly independent from each other. You can go ahead and edit the rooms as need be. You can double click, label them accordingly. You can set them all caps, which is industry standard. So we can say room -1, all caps, that's industry standard. And you can say room -2. Whatever your rooms are, go ahead and label them. If you want to show square footage, once again, select element properties, edit type, show area. If I want to show room number, same thing. OK and OK. Now remember, because these two room labels are still the same family, if you change or modify one label, it'll change or modify all of them. So keep that in mind. All right, so congratulations. That's room labels and lecture number 1. Thank you very much.